Good morning. This is Math 4 video for Wednesday, April 8th. So we're going to continue talking about fractions, and today we're going to talk about different names for one whole. So if I have one whole pizza, I could say that this whole thing equals 1. Okay? But what if I took that pizza and I cut that whole pizza into 4 slices? Now I haven't eaten any yet. Do I still have one whole pizza? I do. But what is the fraction of this? I have 4 shaded and 4 pieces. So 4 over 4 is the same thing as one whole. I can actually do this with any number. I could continue on and I could take my pizza and I could cut it into 8 pieces, but I haven't taken any out, so I still have one whole. So the rule is that any number over itself, when the numerator and the denominator are the same number, you have one whole. Okay, so let's look at half of a pizza. If I take this pizza and I do this fraction, I have 1/2 of a pizza. Half of a pizza left, correct? What if I take this same pizza and I cut it into 4ths? Do I still have the same amount of pizza left? Yes, but now my fraction is what? 2/4. Let's cut this pizza again, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and I have the same amount of pizza. Okay, I'm going to do another one here. So this one I have to do a little bit different. Hold on. Straighten this up now a little bit. Okay, so now my pizza has 6 pieces. 1, 2, and I'm going to color in half of my pizza. You see? Still a half of a pizza, and I get 3/6. That one's just really hard to draw. So 3/6 is the same as 1/2. So 2/4, 3/6, 4/8. Can you see how 2 is half of 4? And 4 is half of 8. And 3 is half of 6. So let's think of some other ones. 5 is half of what number? 10. So 5/10 and 1/2 mean the same thing. Let's think about if we had 6 on the top. What would make this half of a pizza? You're right, 12. 7/14. And we could go on and on and on with fractions that are equal to 1/2. So they give you some examples there on your worksheet at the top, different fractions that mean 1 whole, and different fractions that are the same as half. Okay, so what we're going to do on our work today is we're going to be determining which fraction is bigger by thinking, well, is it closer to a whole or is it closer to a half? So let me erase this really quick. And let's do a few. It says, let's look at number 2. Number 2 says 3/4 compared to 1 whole. 3/4 compared to 1 whole. Well, there's a couple different ways we can look at this. One is we can say, well, 3/4 is really close to 2/4, which is about a half of a fraction, and we could say, well, 1 whole would be 4/4, wouldn't it? That would be bigger. So we can really see that 1 whole is bigger than any fraction. Okay? Another way that you can think about this is if you need to draw your picture, do. There's 3/4. I'm going to draw a picture under this one of a whole. Which one has more pizza left? this one. So alligator eats the bigger number. Let's look at a different one. 7/8 and 1/2. Okay, so when I think about my numbers that are a half, I can do a half. And let's do an 8 on the bottom. Which is our fraction that's the same as a half that has an 8 on the bottom? Or what number is half of 8? Hope you're thinking 4, or looking up into your box and finding 4/8. So if a half is the same as 4/8, then what is 7/8 bigger or smaller? It's bigger. So remember, if the numbers on the bottom are the same, then we compare the numbers on the top. We've learned that before. Okay, so 7/8 is bigger. Might you need to draw a picture? Sure. As long as these are exactly the same squares. Don't make one really big and one really small. And I have to cut this one into 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I got to color in 7 of them. We can see that that's almost one whole. And then this one, let's just cut it into 2 pieces and color it in. And I can see that this one is bigger. Okay, so you can work these out whichever way makes the most sense to you. But be thinking, is this close to a half or is this close to a whole? It's close to one whole, and one is bigger than a half. Okay, so that will go faster if you start to think about those in that way. Okay, I think that that's probably enough to go ahead and get you started. Make sure you Marco Polo me for help.